And now.
That's the middle shot. He scores!
Flips it off to Ryan Matthews. He's in! Eagles take the lead!
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Welcome to Sports Talk, the number one sports podcast in the Philadelphia area. Come on out here, Brodes. This episode of Sports Talk with Brodes is brought to you by Sports R Philly. Sports R Philly contains a wide variety of great blogs across the Philadelphia area. You can follow them on Twitter at Sports R Philly or check out their website, www.sportsrphilly.com.
What is going on, everybody? We are back for episode 16 of Sports Talk with Brodes. We had our first NFL game of the season last night, and boy, was it interesting. But before we get into that, you can follow me on Twitter at sportsandbrodes. You can send me a call using your voice recording app, your voice memo app on all iPhones. Record your sports point and send it to sportsandbrodes@gmail.com. All right, before we kick it in, I went fishing this morning. Woke up 7 o'clock in the morning, me and my roommate, on our off day of classes. Caught nothing. Absolutely caught nothing. It was a tough day, but you know what they say. A bad day of fishing is a good day of anything else. Now, does that not make sense? Regardless, we went to that spot. It's a reservoir. We caught 5 largemouth basses the other day. So we were like, what the hell? Let's go again. Absolutely nothing. So now we definitely have to go for another time to make sure we catch it up. But regardless of the fishing trip, that made no sense to us. Let's dive in. Big game. Was that not a big game last night? I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. My buddy hit me up. Should I take the spread? It was +9 for Tom Brady and the Patriots. I said, I think they're going to win more than 9. I really do. I think they're going to win more than 9. Isn't that ridiculous? All those people getting sucked in. Vegas knows. Vegas knows. They know everything. It's crazy. So we took it and lost it. So this is why I stick away from it. I definitely stick away from it. But it was awesome. It was awesome. The first drive, Tom Brady comes out for 9 plays, 72 yards, and they look perfect. They look like they didn't even lose a step from last year. Then Kareem Hunt fumbles first play of his NFL career, and he hasn't even fumbled the ball once in 4 years at Toledo, and he fumbles the first one. That's a mind game. Mind game. So what does he do? We shall see. I'm sure everyone's seen the game, but it's okay. We're going in order here. Kansas City holds them. After that turnover, on 4th down, holds them. No points for the Patriots. I like that. I love their defense. They took a hard hit, though. I just found out right before I did this that Eric Berry's Achilles injury that happened in this game will knock him out for the season. And that hurts. That defense will not be the same. Missing Eric Berry. It just will not happen. So that 4th down stop for Kansas City actually led them down the field to tie the ball game. Hill, 75-yard touchdown. Alex Smith looked phenomenal with the deep ball. And that is something that he is not known to do. Not known to do. And that's why it was kind of crazy, to be honest with you. He's always hitting the short routes, and they're running the ball, and he's not known for that arm. Either that Patriots D are screwed this year, or Alex Smith plays like this, and he'll be elite this year. It happens. It's year to year in this league. It is year to year. So after that happens, first off, this statistic that he is the only receiver ever to record 5 games consecutively of 60-plus 60-yard touchdown pass. First receiver ever. I actually feel that is a ridiculous stat, but it was 17-14 Patriots at the half. What does Kansas City do? We shall see. So, late in the third, 60-yard pass in the air. 60 yards in the air from the Patriots' 20 to the other 20. Tom Brady hits Brandon Cooks. That's what he's there to do, stretch the field. They haven't had anybody like that in a long time to be able to do that. The Patriots needed a receiver like this. They haven't had that since Randy Moss, to be honest with you. So that's what he's there to do, and it worked. So here we are in the fourth quarter. Kareem Hunt runs for a 58-yard run. That Patriots defense struggled. They did not look good. Hightower couldn't come back in. They did not look good. I'm sure they'll clean it up, but they've heard this before. But Belichick goes for another fourth down. It was 4th and inches, 12 minutes left, down 28-27. Denied. You heard it. Denied. The Chiefs' defense did not allow it. 2 fourth down attempts for the Patriots. With that kind of offense, didn't get it done. Kansas City's defense is very solid. Amendola leaves the game injured. Tom Brady must not be very happy with the receiving core right now. I didn't even really see Dorsett out there. Like I said before, Eric Berry bursts his Achilles. He is out for the season. That is going to be a really tough loss. I mean, it could bring the defense down big time. He is an emotional leader. He went through cancer, beat it. He's a guy that brings a lot of energy to that defense, and if he could be up there for one of the top safeties in the entire league. So, Justin Houston looked really good. Back to the way he should be playing. He had a big-time sack late in the game, brought some energy to the squad. Final stat line here for Alex Smith, 368 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Unbelievable. He has it was out of players who have started at least 100 games, he has the third fewest 300-yard games in the entire NFL. That was like his 5th or something crazy like that. And how about this for the rookie, Hunt, 246 yards from the line of scrimmage. Best ever in an NFL debut. I got some more crazy stats. I do. Tom Brady era, 105-0 when leading in the fourth quarter. Wow. In 2001, 2003, and 2014, the Patriots lost the first game. How did the season end? Super Bowl champs. Of course. Now how about this? My one buddy from Boston went to the game. He's a true crazy Boston kid. Shout out to Joe Villari. He put on his Snap story, him going up. I would believe he was intoxicated intensely. He would go up to all the fans wearing Kansas City Chiefs jerseys and said, I'm sorry, like a million times. I'm sorry that you have to deal with being a fan. He was screaming. He was flipping guys off that were sitting in front of him. He's that guy. He's that obnoxious fan. So I texted him. I said, I'm sorry after the game. I'm sorry. And he says 18-1. I'm looking at it like 18-1. Joe, they play 16 games. He said, I'm not an Eagles fan. We go to the Super Bowl every year. I had nothing to say. You know what I said? Touché. It hurts. After the game, Brady called out his team for not having the correct attitude. Now, I thought that was an interesting choice of words, the attitude. I think he saw something that he did not see, something on the bench, someone getting real frustrated, and I'm sure they'll clean it up. It's the Patriots. It's Bill Belichick. They've been here before. They've lost the first game before. And like I said, the 3 years that they have won the Super Bowl, that's how it turned out. So I wouldn't be too upset about it if I was a Patriots fan. You know they're going to bounce back. So jealous. But anyway, Belichick in September. Not the greatest. Only wins 40% of his games. December, 83. So, you know what? I would not be too worried about it. But if the Chiefs play like this in week 2, oh man, are the Birds screwed. Screwed. I don't even want to think about it. Don't get me wrong. I have faith in my Eagles, but I had this marked off as an L anyway, to be honest with you. But if they play like... I don't want them to embarrass us. Come on, I gotta believe. I can't be doing this. Why do I always do this? Why do I always talk bad about the Eagles? Why can't I be optimistic? Why can't I be optimistic? I don't know how. Because my heart, it always gets torn apart with this Philadelphia team. But I have some other NFL news after last night's game. There's some other topics around the league. Zeke suspended actually was upheld. He can play week 1. His punishment starts week 2 and on. I'm not sure how that all broke out because there was a certain time, I believe it was like past 4 p.m. If the jury came out with their decision past that, then it won't be effective for the following week. So he gets to play week 1 against the Giants. Not really mad about it. Not sure if Odell is going to be playing. He still has that ankle sprain, so I don't really know what's going on with him unless they're just making it seem like he's questionable, and then he comes out at full health and just tears apart the defense. Like I said, I hate watching that game because I want both teams to lose so badly. So badly. So anyway, last episode I talked about the comments that were talked about the Eagles coach from Mike Lombardi saying how he's the worst coach and he has no resume and he should not be here. And I feel like that made us Eagles fans rally around Doug Peterson. I really do. Hearing that, it's like, hey, that's my coach. And we put a little bit of more respect on it. That's how I feel. That's the message, the vibes that I'm getting when I'm listening to sports radio on the 97.5 The Fanatic app now that I'm stuck here in Maryland. Pretty disappointing I don't get to listen to it as much as I want to because I'm stuck in the truck all summers driving around, so I listen to it all the time. And now I'm here at school, and it's like, damn, I got to find more time for it. But I feel like guys are sticking up for Doug Peterson after he pretty much got embarrassed by somebody on TV who doesn't have the right to say that at all. So anyway, moving along to a couple more points that happened in the NFL. The Dolphins-Bucks game was moved to week 11. So their bye week is essentially week 1, and then they got to play 16 straight weeks. You know, you just got to play the cards that are dealt to you, but that kind of sucks. I mean, that's a lot of football. You'd like to look for that week 8, 9 break because your body's hurt. Your body's hurting. And it's a lot of football. It's a lot of intensity on your body. And the hype. I mean, it's week 1 and you don't even get to play? Crazy. Kirk Cousins says God told him to sign a 1-year deal with the Redskins. I don't know what is going on with that. Why would you not want to keep someone like Kirk Cousins happy? He's a solid quarterback in this league. He doesn't get that much respect, but he should. But there is something going on between him and that GM and that franchise, and I don't know why they're handling it like this. He's a quarterback that can win you games in this league. He's better than average, I would say. I mean, he can win you some games. Myles Garrett injured his right ankle and will reevaluate in weeks. Not days, but weeks. I'm a little disappointed. I've been hearing great things that have been going on with him throughout camp for the last couple of weeks. I mean, he has been working apparently insanely hard, looking great in practice, looking great in preseason, and then you get hurt. It's tough, man. This sport is tough. Everyone's getting hurt. They were dropping like flies last night. Everyone's getting hurt. That's why you got to have backups. Your backups are important. So that is where we stand on the National Football League. I'm sorry. We do have college football to talk about, but we also have a segment of this or that. So the first 3 are Would You Rathers, and the 4th and 5th is a little bit different. So to kick it off, number 1, would you rather sit in your normal seats at a sporting event, or you get to sit in the owner's box or the front seat if you would, like at a baseball game behind the dugout, anything of your choice. But you can't have food, you can't have a drink, and you can't use the bathroom? Well, what's the point of that? The point of getting the owner's box, to be honest with you, would be the free food, the free drinks, and you have your own personal bathroom. So I'd rather sit in the normal seats because I get hungry and I want beer. So that one is kind of easy for me. I mean, why would you not want to eat or drink beer? The best thing about sitting at a baseball game, a football game, is that nice cold beer touching the lips. Is it not? So the second one, moving on, now that I'm fired up about not having the free drinks. Would you rather use PEDs, but be the best in your sport, and you do not get caught? Or just be a role guy who sits on the end of the bench, but you know you never cheated? I'm cheating. I'm picturing myself being Stanton right now, Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire. Just never getting caught, though. Never getting caught. Hitting bombs, 60, 70 bombs a season. Something ridiculous, but never getting caught. I mean, I'd be going down as one of the greatest players ever if I'm a role player. No one's going to remember who Sean Livingston was. No one's going to remember these bench guys. If you're telling me I don't get caught and I'm putting up numbers by cheating, yeah, I mean, I'd probably do that. I would definitely do that. Now, number 3, would I rather get rocked by Jadeveon Clowney or get dunked on by DeAndre Jordan? Now, I'd rather get dunked on because I feel like that would be a little less painful. I don't want this beast of a man to come take my head off. I'll take the charge. That's what I do. I do that in pickup basketball, 3-on-3 on the local courts. I'm taking charges. Okay? So, sure, let him dunk on me, but when I see the referee blow the whistle and point the other way and see my bench hold everyone back, that's what I want to do. That's the choice right there. I am getting dunked on. But I'll take the charge and see it go the other way. Now here's the 4th one, little different. Not a would you rather. Do I think Ronda Rousey could beat Floyd Mayweather in UFC? It's a totally different game. Could she out wrestle him on the floor and put him in all kinds of grappling moves? Probably. I mean, it's a totally different game. Floyd Mayweather is not that big of a person. So I feel like if she did it right and knew the right technical moves, she might be able to be honest with you. She's kind of irrelevant now. She hasn't really been in the game at all. But Mayweather is a tiny dude. I think his weigh-ins was 140, right? Something like that. So if it comes down to technicality, just like he would destroy anyone in boxing, I feel like when it comes to the grappling to the ground and the kicks, she probably could get him. He'd be hard to get, though. He'd be hard to get. Number 5. Could I score on KD once in a one-on-one legitimate match? Yes. Yes. So what I would do is sit at the top of the key and hit him with a little crossover. Do you remember Allen Iverson on Michael Jordan? Hit a little Jimmy after that? That's me. So I'm going to just dribble, act like I'm going up for the layup, cross him over, put it in between my legs, fade away, and cash it in his eyes. That's just how I see it going down. I feel like it is very possible to do. I mean, I don't see it being impossible. So, yeah, I think I could score on. So let's move along to some college football. There are some big games this Saturday. Some big games. Where are we here? Here are the list of some big games to watch. 13-ranked Auburn plays number 3 Clemson. 15-ranked Georgia plays 24 Notre Dame. Now this is the big one of the night. Probably going to be the best one of the day, to be honest with you. Number 5 Oklahoma versus number 2 Ohio State. Do they still have it? Does Urban Meyer have the squad this year to win a national championship? My answer is no, because Alabama does. Anyway, 14-ranked Stanford plays 6 USC. USC's overrated. They're overrated. They do not have what it takes. They escaped last week. They absolutely escaped that game. Trust me, they're going to have 3 to 4 losses this year. They're not even going to be close to the running of the top 4. And Bama plays Fresno State. Who do you think is going to win? Those are the games I don't like. Bama should never be able to play these teams. It sucks. It sucks to watch because I love watching them play, but am I really going to watch them play Fresno State? There's actually no chance, to be honest. Penn State plays Pitt. That's a good rivalry. I like games like that. Pitt's nothing crazy, but when it comes to these rivalry games. And how about this? My Maryland Terps are not ranked. I'm about to send an email to the college football guys. That's a joke. We just beat Texas, who's ranked 23. I'm kind of being sarcastic, by the way, if you couldn't understand that part of my voice, but I was definitely being sarcastic. Although after a win against Towson, a win against USF in the next 2 weeks, here we come, baby. They have a game at 12. I really want to go to the game. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Got a lot of homework, and I got some fundraising to do for my hockey team for my trip to France. But I would love to go to a Maryland football game to watch my boys. Ty Johnson, 1-0. Can't wait to be 2-0 after this Towson beatdown on Saturday. I can't wait. We have some other news, though. The U.S. Open is still going on. Roger fell. What did I say? I knew he didn't have what it took after his first 2 sets went to 5 matches against some scrubs. I knew he didn't have what it took this time. Now, I understand he is LeBron James of tennis, and I love that. And I like Roger. I just had that feeling. I knew he did not have it this year. And it was pretty obvious. He got beat. Rafa's still alive. He plays tonight at 5 against the number 24th in the world. Little semis action. I got faith in him. He's scaring me a little bit, but I got faith in him. Because I know how he works. But he's been hot. He's been hot as of late. Had some sweeps lately. But my new favorite player is on the woman's side. Her name is Coco. She got demolished last night by Keys. And I mentioned Keys before. She can play. But she destroyed Coco. And Venus went down. So this is awesome. I mean, this is truly awesome. That Venus match last night was amazing. It's one of those tennis matches where you really can't stop watching. Just like when Roger fell, though. It was one of those matches you can't sit there and say that this is an unenjoyable tennis match. There are some games, though, that go on and there's no rallies and it's constant faults and it's just boring and slow. But some of these games, they go into 5, or on the women's side, they go into 3, and the first set looks like 7-6, 7-5. And then they're in the third set and it's like 3-3. And Coco showing her emotion. That's why I love her. The emotion she plays with. She's screaming, she's fist pumping. But she fell. She fell. My favorite player ever. I'm about to get a poster of her and hang her up on the wall. Love Coco. So, in other news, actually, this is crazy. And I wanted to talk about this with the football thing, but I totally forgot about it. Antonio Cromartie is having his 14th child. His 3rd since his vasectomy. Now, I know this isn't all about sports, but this is a pro athlete, and I just want to mention, how ridiculous is that? I want to sue the place. Like, that doesn't even make sense. You had 3 kids after, and it's your 14th. It's got to be magical, though. It's got to be magical. I just had to throw that out there. It just doesn't make sense. His stuff, it's got to be just powerful, like the most powerful in the world. He must have the most powerful fluid. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, where are we? We have baseball still in a great grind. You got the teams like the Diamondbacks, the Cleveland Indians, who have won 15 straight first team in 15 years. I've never been this excited about the baseball playoffs and this whole entire wild card race. I've never been this excited. I find myself using Reddit to stream the most, not absurd games, but games that I would never be streaming late night at 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11 on these West Coast games, just to see how they're doing against teams that are so irrelevant, but since they're not. So, for example, like the Diamondbacks. I mean, like I remember streaming a game where they were playing someone not even close to being in the running, just because I knew that they were still in the wild card spot. It's what am I doing? That's just a sportsman. That's the kind of stuff you do. Now, I got to ask a question. I love my questions. You can send them in on Twitter at sportsandbrodes, or call them in using a voice memo app and sending it to sportsandbrodes@gmail.com. But my question that I was asked, what is the best playoffs of the four majors? Stanley Cup, MLB, NFL, NBA. Now, I love the NBA Finals because my boy LeBron is always in it. But, even Charles Barkley said it this year, and that's how you know. It's not good until the finals. It's not. They breeze right through it. I mean, Golden State and Cleveland breeze right through the whole entire. It was boring. And then you're sitting there like, does it even matter if the series against like Utah and Clippers, I'm just throwing things out there, it doesn't even matter if who wins, because Golden State's just going to sweep them. I mean, that's how boring it was this year. Charles Barkley even gave a shout out to the Stanley Cup on how amazing their playoffs are. Now, I love football playoffs. I mean, who doesn't? I'm a diehard NFL fan. That's my number one. The only thing I like about other sports is you get more games. So it's like you got your wild card while everyone else gets a bye. And then there's 2 other games. You know what I mean? So it's a 16-game season and 19 games when you're in the Super Bowl. It's just, I don't know. There's not enough games in the playoffs for it to be my favorite. Now, as a hockey fan, I guess it's pretty biased if I say hockey. But I just don't understand how people don't appreciate the Stanley Cup Finals more than they should. Not fine, just playoffs in general. But hear me out. For people who don't follow hockey and they just follow the other sports, because there are a lot of them out there. There's a lot of sportsmen like myself who just leave hockey out of it. But since I play it and I was born in it, it's obviously up there for me. I actually really love just watching hockey as a sportsman and not so much a player. Probably one of my favorite things to do. It's just different. It has a totally different feel to it. I try to explain it to my teammates, but they have no idea what I'm talking about. But going back to the playoff thing, it is just so blood, sweat, and tears is like an understatement. You have guys playing with potential collapsed lungs, broken ribs, like no foot, your feet's hanging off your body, but it's in your boot, so they play. I get it, all sports do that, and I'm being extremely biased, but the level of competitiveness during the Stanley Cup Finals or anything like that is like no other. I love the World Series, though. That might be my second favorite behind hockey, believe it or not. I absolutely love the World Series. Baseball to me is beautiful. And people hate on it because it's so slow. But that's a ridiculous statement. You gotta realize that every sport has its beauty. And it's a slower paced game, but it's beautiful. I'm getting fired up just thinking about how people don't enjoy sports. That's one of the things that bothers me. I don't understand. But hey, it's not for everyone. It's not for, I mean, maybe I'm ridiculous though. Sometimes I like to think like I have a problem. I get so excited about a sporting event though. Like think about it. I get way too happy to sit on my couch and watch football. Last night, I didn't go out. Thirsty Thursday in college, didn't go out and just sat on the couch because I was that excited to watch the whole entire game from start to finish and not miss a play. I can't even process in words how I am feeling about this Sunday. To see Carson Wentz drop back in a real live regular season football game. No words to explain it. I got my Fletcher Cox jersey right in front of me for inspiration. I can't wait to wear it on Sunday. You know what? Back-to-back days. I might even wear it Monday to class after a big W against the Skins. I can't. I'm so hype. It's unbelievable. But with that being said, I am going to end this episode here. Let me just make sure I got everything. I did. I had everything that was on my list. Actually, wait. There is one more thing. There's one more thing. Isaiah Thomas's hip injury could be so significant. Like, so much worse than anyone ever thought. And now I'm starting to question, why? Why did they do this trade? Did they know how bad this was? I don't think they did. But I still feel there has to be some sort of way that he had to get cleared by Boston to make this trade. I don't understand how something like that can go through unless they did know about it and didn't say anything. But it doesn't make sense to me on why, if they knew it was that severe, why they would still make this trade. Did they really just want to get rid of Kyrie Irving that quickly? Did they just... I get it. If everyone's healthy in that deal, it seems like a really solid one. But how serious is this? Is this going to change his game? He's one of those guys that's been through a lot. I understand that he can take this injury, move forward, and really pursue something, but isn't the clock ticking with LeBron James? Do they know what's going to happen with LeBron? I don't know. Maybe that's inside stuff, but coming from me, who doesn't know this inside stuff like anybody else, LeBron's going to be leaving, and the clock is ticking for him to get his chance to play with LeBron. So who knows? But that's the only other thing I had to throw out there was the Isaiah Thomas thing, because it's ridiculous, and I do not understand why, with this injury and it going to be this serious, why they would move Kyrie, because they didn't actually have to. But I wouldn't want to play with a team that had that kind of inner locker room problems, knowing that one person did not want to be there. So I get why you do need to really move him and he can't hold on to it, I guess. But I just don't understand the process of how he got to Cleveland with this injury that is so severe. That's all I have to say. So now, with that being said, I will wrap this episode up. Another great episode. Loved it. I want you guys to follow me on Twitter at sportsandbrodes and use your voice recording app on your iPhone to send me questions so I can have callers. And it'll be awesome. So thank you guys for listening. I'm so excited to do another episode. And we have a big episode coming up after week 1 on Sunday. I'm stoked. Let's go, Birds.